Yeah, that's great. So number four, people, even your customers and your boss, decide with their
Hmm.
hearts and justify with their heads. So we talked a little bit
Yep.
about that and earlier, and I just curious if you had any more thoughts on it.
Yeah, I think just another thought to add in is a lot of times companies, teams, they'll focus on the customer, which is awesome. Like, yes, you have to understand your customer, and then you go present to your boss, and as you alluded to, like, somebody's gonna be like, why are we doing that? No, that's different. And so you have customers within your organization
Yeah.
that you need to understand just as well as the customers outside of your organization. And I think a lot of people forget that. And it's first, whatever you're working on has to get approved internally before you can even give the market a chance to say whether it's successful or not. And so if you're not understanding those internal customers and those internal decision makers, your idea is never going to get out the door.
Hmm.
And so recognize that just because we're all in a business setting doing business things, it doesn't mean that, you know, everything is perfectly logical, because we're human.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And your fifth core belief: ideas are a dime a dozen, decisions are priceless,
Yeah.
action is perfection. This is
Yes.
this is my favorite of the five personally, because it's true. Like it seems like pretty much everything has been thought before. Um, and you 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 mentioned that example of the company that tried that thing back in 1983 earlier,
Yeah.
and it's just interesting. Decisions and action, and then testing.
Mhm.
It's all great stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you think of a brainstorming session, like you get hundreds of ideas at a brainstorming session. Awesome. If you don't do anything with them, like you just spent an hour coming up with ideas, like, okay. Um, and so I see a lot of time and effort and energy and money spent by companies to come up with ideas,
Yeah.
and then a real reticence to make decisions, because, like, oh, well, what if we pick the wrong idea? Well, if you don't pick any idea, you're going to get nowhere. So, like, just pick one, and at the very least you'll be able to say that was a bad idea, let's not do it again, and go to the next one.
Hmm.
So you've got to make a decision to move things forward. But if you don't act on it, if you don't, like you're saying, run the experiments, okay, you just have an idea that you decided to work on. Like, value is not going to get created if you don't do something.